FBI. Any kind of booze you might want?
No, the Bureau forbids us from drinking.
Stop. Okay?
Safety first.
Safety is first. We don't want to get a bad reputation.
The Wolf of Wall Street unfolds as a bold, high-energy portrait of ambition pushed to its extreme, capturing a world where excess is not just encouraged, but celebrated. The story presents a fast-moving financial landscape fueled by greed, confidence, and the intoxicating promise of limitless wealth. From its opening moments, the film establishes a tone that is chaotic, humorous, and unapologetically provocative, signaling that this is not a cautionary tale told quietly, but a loud, relentless dive into a lifestyle built on desire and denial. At the center of the narrative is Jordan Belfort, a charismatic and fiercely ambitious young man who enters the world of finance with dreams of success and status. He is drawn to the energy of trading floors, the rush of money changing hands, and the respect that seems to follow those who can sell confidence as much as product. Early in his journey, he learns that perception often matters more than substance, and that convincing people is as valuable as any financial knowledge. This realization becomes the foundation of his rise, shaping both his career and his moral descent. The cast surrounding Jordan plays a crucial role in bringing this world to life. His mentor figures introduce him to the unspoken rules of Wall Street, where indulgence and recklessness are normalized as long as profits keep flowing. His partners and employees are not simply co-workers but fellow believers in a shared dream of wealth without limits. Each character contributes to the film's sense of momentum, feeding into an environment where restraint is seen as weakness and excess as proof of success. The plot charts Jordan's rapid ascent as he discovers opportunities outside traditional financial institutions. By targeting everyday investors and selling high-commission stocks through aggressive tactics, he builds a new empire that thrives on persuasion and illusion. His firm becomes a symbol of unchecked ambition, growing from a modest operation into a sprawling organization fueled by loyalty, greed, and constant celebration. The office culture reflects this transformation, evolving into a place where work and indulgence blur into one continuous spectacle. As Jordan's wealth grows, so does his appetite for pleasure. The film devotes significant attention to the lifestyle that accompanies his success, portraying lavish parties, luxury homes, and constant consumption. These scenes are exaggerated yet purposeful, illustrating how quickly gratification becomes expectation. What begins as enjoyment slowly turns into dependency, with money acting as both enabler and justification for increasingly destructive behavior. The relationship dynamics in Jordan's life reveal another layer of the story. His romantic partnerships reflect his changing values, shifting from emotional connection to superficial attraction and control. These relationships are shaped by power and image, mirroring his approach to business. The people closest to him often serve as extensions of his identity, reinforcing his belief that success grants immunity from consequence. Humor plays a central role in the film's storytelling, often emerging from absurd situations and exaggerated reactions. This comedic tone does not soften the underlying darkness, but instead highlights the irrationality of excess. Laughter becomes a way to process discomfort, allowing the audience to engage with behavior that is clearly reckless while still recognizing its consequences. The film walks a careful line, inviting viewers into the spectacle without fully endorsing it. As the narrative progresses, cracks begin to appear beneath the surface of Jordan's empire. Legal scrutiny intensifies and the pressure of maintaining appearances grows heavier. The same confidence that fueled his rise begins to work against him, as arrogance leads to careless decisions. The story emphasizes how systems built on deception require constant reinforcement, and how even small missteps can have cascading effects. Substance abuse becomes increasingly prominent, portrayed not as a side note but as a central force driving the narrative. Drugs and alcohol are shown as both escape and accelerant, amplifying impulsive behavior while dulling awareness of risk. These moments are often chaotic and unsettling, reflecting a loss of control that parallels Jordan's professional unraveling. The film does not glamorize these excesses without cost, instead showing their impact on judgment, relationships, and stability. The tension between Jordan and the authorities, introduces a cat-and-mouse dynamic that adds momentum to the story. Investigations loom in the background, gradually moving closer as evidence accumulates. This looming threat creates a sense of inevitability, reminding viewers that no matter how insulated a world may seem, it exists within a larger system that eventually demands accountability. The conflict is not just legal but psychological. As Jordan struggles to reconcile his self-image with the reality of his actions, despite mounting pressure, Jordan clings to his identity as a motivator and leader. His speeches to employees emphasize loyalty, ambition, and the idea that success justifies all means. These moments reveal his ability to inspire even as his foundation crumbles, underscoring the power of charisma and belief. The film uses these scenes to explore how narratives of success can override ethical considerations when people are invested in the outcome. The pacing of the story remains relentless, mirroring the lifestyle it portrays. Scenes transition rapidly, often piling excess upon excess until the viewer feels overwhelmed. This stylistic choice reinforces the theme of addiction, creating an experience that is intentionally exhausting. The audience is not given much time to reflect, replicating the character's own inability to slow down and reassess their choices. Visually, the film emphasizes contrast, showcasing moments of luxury alongside scenes of chaos and decline. Clean, polished environments give way to disorder as Jordan's control slips. These visual shifts subtly track his internal state, using setting and movement to convey emotional changes without explicit commentary. The camera often feels restless, reinforcing the sense of constant motion and instability. As the story approaches its turning point, consequences become unavoidable. Relationships fracture, trust erodes, and the weight of past decisions settles in. The narrative does not present this downfall as sudden or shocking, but as the logical result of choices made over time. This gradual collapse reinforces the film's central message about the unsustainability of excess built on manipulation and denial. The resolution avoids traditional moralizing, instead allowing events to speak for themselves. The aftermath of Jordan's actions is portrayed with a sense of irony, highlighting how systems can punish individuals while still rewarding the behaviors that led to their success. This ambiguity encourages viewers to think critically about the structures that enable such stories to exist and repeat. The film's release was marked by intense discussion due to its explicit content, bold tone, and fearless performances. Trailers emphasized its outrageous energy, rapid dialogue, and larger-than-life moments, positioning it as a cinematic event rather than a quiet drama. The marketing leaned into its provocative nature, promising an experience that was entertaining, shocking, and unforgettable. Audience reactions often reflected this duality, with some viewers drawn to the spectacle and others unsettled by its implications. This division is part of the film's lasting impact, as it refuses to offer a simple emotional response. Instead, it challenges viewers to confront their own reactions to wealth, power, and indulgence, asking whether fascination itself is a form of complicity. Ultimately, The Wolf of Wall Street is less about finance than about human desire. It explores how ambition, when untethered from responsibility, can spiral into excess that consumes everything in its path. The story examines the seductive nature of success and the ease with which moral boundaries can shift when reward outweighs consequence. It presents a world where winning becomes the only goal, regardless of cost. By the final moments, the film leaves viewers with an uneasy sense of recognition. The excess, humor, and chaos may feel exaggerated, but the underlying behaviors are rooted in real impulses: the desire for more, the fear of losing status, and the belief that rules apply to others. Rather than offering closure, the story lingers as a reflection on a culture that celebrates wealth while often ignoring how it is achieved. The Wolf of Wall Street endures because it captures this contradiction with unapologetic clarity. It is entertaining, disturbing, and thought-provoking all at once, refusing to simplify its characters or its message. Through its energetic storytelling and uncompromising perspective, the film invites viewers not just to watch a rise and fall, but to question the values that make such stories possible in the first place.